Sorry. The early Athabascans were hunters-gatherers and had to follow herds of game in order to survive. This meant roaming the Arctic, always on the move. Caribou and moose were the primary animals they ate. The reindeer that you see here are domestic relatives to caribou. Caribou travel in herds and often along the same migratory paths from one year to the next. Athabascans placed spears and fences along these paths in order to slow the herd down and funnel to an area where the individual caribou could be more easily killed. The Athabascans also had an advantage over the large animals in the winter by using snowshoes. Snowshoes allowed a group of Athabascan men to outmaneuver solitary moose or caribou in deep snow conditions. These snowshoes were made from two pieces of bent birch tied together with rawhide and a strip of moose hide for the binding. These large animals provided the Athabascans with nearly everything they need to survive. The meat, the bones, and even the liquids we used. Nothing was wasted. The caribou hide was especially valuable to the Athabascans because of its warmth. Each hair is hollow, which traps air inside, making it very lightweight and exceptionally warm. If you look inside the structures around the village, you will notice that each bed is made with fresh spruce boughs and topped with caribou hide. Now, that spruce bough and caribou hide mattress was very important because it was lightweight, warm, and portable. Now, as the lady said, the Athabascans were nomadic. They moved 8 or 9 times a year. That's why these structures here are much more temporary than the cabins in the village. This first dome-like structure is called a caribou skin hut. They're made with pieces of steamed and bent spruce poles tied together for the frame, and the outside is a layer of caribou hide. When it was time to move on, all those hides were packed up because they're much too valuable to be left behind. So we like to call this the world's first mobile home. On the far end is an even more temporary structure called a double lean-to. Hunters would often use these because they're easy to put up, and it's a simple spruce pole frame with spruce boughs, so it could just be left behind. Today we've talked quite a bit about the spruce tree, but an equally valuable resource was the birch. Unfortunately, there aren't any growing in this immediate area, but we do have an example here for you. The birch tree is a tall, skinny tree with white papery bark and has green leaves growing at the top. And it provided two very important resources. One is called punk, P-U-N-K. And this is a fungus that grows on the birch tree. It's one of the reasons they were able to survive such a harsh, cold winter, because they could take this punk and bore a hole into it using a sharp rock. Inside that hole, they placed embers from their campfire. Then, wrap the whole thing in moss and tuck it in a caribou carrying pouch like this. In that environment, the embers could smolder for maybe a day or more. So when they got to their new campsite, they could use this to quickly establish a new fire. Birch bark is also very valuable because not only is it pliable, it's waterproof. So it's great for making birch bark canoes like the one right behind me here. This canoe is made with steamed and burnt spruce wood for the ribbing. The outside is birch bark, of course, and it's all sewn together with split spruce roots. The black resin you see along the seams is a mixture of animal fat, tree sap, and caribou hair. And this canoe could probably hold 2 hunters and all of their camping gear, and hopefully a hind leg or two from a successful hunting trip. This is a birch bark basket. It's made in a similar fashion as the canoe. Women would use these to gather, store, or even cook food. Yes, I did say cook, but birch bark is highly flammable, so you can't place it directly over a campfire. The process for cooking is to put meat, roots, berries, and water in the basket. Then rotate hot rocks from the campfire in and out until several hours later, it would hopefully come to a slow boil. You can see why I am thankful for Taco Bell. Now this last piece is my favorite thing in the whole village. This is a birch bark baby basket. Aww. What Mama would do is place moss or even rabbit fur in the bottom. Can everyone hear me okay over the plane? Westerners. Mom would place moss or rabbit fur in the bottom, strap baby in with the cute moose hide straps, tie tie him on her back, and go about her day. But when Baby did, what babies are known to do best, she would take little one out, dump the soil contents on the ground, and start all over again. So here we have the world's first eco-friendly, biodegradable, and disposable baby diaper. I want to thank everyone for joining Delanna and I in the village today. We're very proud of our heritage. It's been such a pleasure to share with you. I hope we've left you with the understanding that the Athabascans and Alaska Native peoples were very resourceful and overcame many harsh challenges. Today, as a next generation, we're left with the challenge of living in a Western society while still trying to preserve our culture. We do that by going to school and getting the best education we can, and then talking and learning from our elders as much as we can as well. And lucky for us, we get to share some of that information with you folks in the summertime. Before I let you go, I'll just give you some information and directions to things you might want to see in the village. Directly behind you in front of the boat is the post office. That's where Dave Monson will be to personalize your granite books. If you'd like, you can purchase the books inside as well. If you'd like to see the parka again, there's a shortcut right through these trees here. Hannah and Delanna will be modeling the parka for you during free time. If you'd like to see the dogs, head down this path, past our second stop, all the way to the other end of the village. The sled dogs are over there, and someone from Trailbreaker Kennel will be there to answer your mushing questions. Fish camp is right along the river, and that's where I'll be in a few minutes to answer your fishing questions. Don't be afraid to ask any of the guides or crew members anything. We're all more than happy to answer your questions, but remember to please respect all of the rope boundaries, especially here at the reindeer. They're very sensitive. Please do not try to touch them. The most important thing I can tell you today, though, folks, is to listen for the boat whistle. When you hear the whistle, no matter where you are, please, it's time to turn around, make your way back on board. Otherwise, you're toughing it out yourself.